My life with Caitlin felt like a dream. We were college sweethearts. The couple everyone admired. After 10 years of marriage, I thought we had it all figured out. We had a beautiful home, good jobs, and a love that seemed unshakable. I was a project manager at a top tech firm, working under a guy named Marcus. He was charismatic, driven, and someone I looked up to. Caitlin was a freelance graphic designer, and her creativity was something I always cherished. Life was good, or so I thought. The first crack appeared on our 10th anniversary. I'd planned a surprise trip to Paris, the city where I proposed. I'd been saving for months, meticulously planning every detail. When I presented her with the tickets, her reaction wasn't what I expected. Instead of joy, I saw a flicker of, was it panic? She made an excuse about a huge, unmissable project that had just landed on her plate. She said the timing was terrible and suggested we postpone. I was disappointed, but I understood. Her career was important, so I canceled the trip, telling myself it was just bad timing. A few weeks later, things started feeling more off. Caitlin became distant, always glued to her phone, smiling at messages I wasn't privy to. When I asked who she was texting, she'd wave it off, saying it was just a client or a friend. The late nights at her studio, which was just a room in our house, became more frequent. Our conversations grew shorter, our intimacy faded. I felt like I was living with a polite stranger. I tried to talk to her, to understand what was wrong, but she'd just say she was stressed with work. I felt a growing knot of anxiety in my stomach, a gut feeling that something was seriously wrong. The truth came crashing down during a company-wide town hall meeting. It was a big event, celebrating a major project I had successfully led. My boss, Marcus, was on stage, giving a speech about teamwork and dedication. As he spoke, he mentioned the long hours and sacrifices everyone made. Then, he said something that made my blood run cold. He thanked his special someone for her unwavering support during the late nights. Someone who understood the pressures of the job. Then he looked out into the crowd, and his eyes met Caitlin's. She was in the back, supposedly there to support me. The look they shared wasn't one of friendship. It was intimate knowing. It was a look I hadn't seen from her in months. My mind raced, connecting the dots. It's a canceled Paris trip. The secretive texts. The late nights. It all clicked into place with horrifying clarity. Marcus. It was Marcus, the man I respected. After the event, I confronted Caitlin. I didn't yell. I was too numb for that. I just asked her, how long? The tears streamed down her face as she confessed everything. It had been going on for 6 months. The huge project that canceled our anniversary trip was a weekend getaway with him. The late nights weren't for work. They were for him. The betrayal was twofold and absolutely devastating. It wasn't just my wife. It was my boss, a man I trusted. The next day, I walked into work feeling like a ghost. I couldn't look at Marcus without seeing him with my wife. The office, once a place of ambition, became a torture chamber. Every laugh, every closed-door meeting felt like a personal attack. I knew I couldn't stay there. My mental health was cratering, so I made a plan. I spent the next 2 weeks quietly gathering evidence. I found emails, hotel receipts, and messages that Caitlin had carelessly left accessible. I documented everything. Then, I scheduled a meeting with HR and the company's head of legal. I didn't go in angry or emotional. I was calm, collected, and professional. I laid out my case, not as a scorned husband, but as an employee whose direct superior had created an untenable and hostile work environment through his unethical conduct with my spouse. The company's reaction was swift. Marcus's behavior was a massive liability. An affair is one thing, but an affair with a subordinate's wife, it's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Marcus was fired. News spread like wildfire. He lost his prestigious job, his reputation, and the respect of his colleagues. He was escorted out of the building with a box of his personal items, a humiliating end to a stellar career. As for Caitlin, when she found out Marcus had been fired, her world unraveled. She had hitched her wagon to him, likely imagining a future where he left his wife and they could be together. But now, he was a pariah. He stopped answering her calls. He wanted nothing to do with the woman who was at the center of his downfall. She came to me, begging for forgiveness, saying it was a terrible mistake. But the trust was shattered beyond repair. I told her I wanted a divorce. The process was messy, but I had the upper hand. The evidence ID gathered not only got Marcus fired, but also played a significant role in our divorce settlement. Caitlin's infidelity was clear, and she walked away with far less than she had expected. She had to sell the beautiful home we'd built together. She lost me, she lost Marcus, and she lost her financial security. She ended up moving into a small apartment, trying to rebuild her life from scratch. I also left the company. They offered me a generous severance package to ensure my silence and a smooth departure. I used that money and my newfound freedom to start my own consulting firm. It was a risk, but I poured all the energy that I once dedicated to my old job and my broken marriage into this new venture. It was fulfilling. Slowly, I started to heal. The first few months were the hardest. I felt lost, angry, and profoundly lonely. I threw myself into therapy, which was one of the best decisions I ever made. It helped me process the betrayal and start rebuilding my sense of self-worth. I also reconnected with old friends and family who I had neglected, and their support was a lifeline. It's been 2 years now. My consulting business is thriving. I've built a team of people I trust, and we're landing bigger and better clients. I even met someone new. Her name is Sarah, and our relationship is built on honesty and mutual respect, things I now value above all else. Life feels bright again. Sometimes I hear things about Caitlin. She's still struggling, moving from one freelance gig to another. Marcus, I heard, moved to another state to try and start over, but his reputation follows him. They thought they could have it all, without any consequences.